Alright, so now I'm talking about Type 9 in the Enneagram. Specifically, is understood by the Enneagram Institute. Maybe not specifically, we'll see. It's because I draw from like general Enneagram exposure that I've had, as well as just the impressions I get. But also, I'll be talking about how that relates to personality hacker. Like, it's going to be mostly Enneagram Institute versus mostly personality hacker conceptualizations of type. There's going to be other stuff thrown in, but mainly those two. So at Type 9, we have the Peacemaker. That's not a huge argument for NI, but I guess this one primarily comes from the whole thing where Type 9s, I can just talk about this when I was really looking at the page. The whole thing is like Type 9's agenda is diffuse because they don't understand their own priorities because they're so dialed into what other people want and merging with other people. And that essentially sounds a lot like personality hackers' perspectives, which is jumping into other people's minds and seeing things from their point of view. That's the crux of the argument, really. We also have this other data point here from the Type 9 overview part from Enneagram Institute. We have called personality Type 9 the Peacemaker because not that part. No type is more devoted to the quest for internal and external peace for themselves and others. Not great connection, but we get here. They are typically spiritual seekers who have a great yearning for connection with the cosmos as well as with other people. And that lines up on a couple of points because the spiritual seekers, I think people talk about NI and spirituality a lot, introverted intuition and spirituality, so that's a decent parallel. Great yearning for connection with the cosmos, and this is kind of a deeper cut, but like the whole myth of NI from cognitive typology or voltology, what they figured out over there is, or think it over there, is that the myth of NI is essentially the myth of the cosmos. So that's also a decent parallel. These guys are talking about how nines at Enneagram Institute are talking about how nines also retreat into their minds, their emotional fantasies. Why are you talking about emotions? This is a body-centered type, maybe their instincts, but their minds. And I guess maybe they're saying like maybe the minds are in the instinctual triad if it's going into their minds, which is the head triad, and the emotional fantasies, which is the heart triad. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole deal with Type 9. The whole deal with Type 9 is like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I should do. I'm just kind of blasé about life in general because I'm so dialed into what other people's agendas are. So that's essentially being dialed into other people's perspectives. That's about it. Perspectives as diffuse agenda or diffuse perspective, right? Because they're not... Essentially, personality hacker will say, yeah, introverted intuition is the first thing they say about introverted intuition is that it's detached from its own perspective. Not sure what that means, but essentially that's the same thing that people are talking about with Type 9s, is that they're not engaged with their own perspective or their agenda, so their points of views, their motivations are not their own, they're from other people. And that's because they're disengaged from their own perspective. Now, the connection point between these two points on the line, I guess, the connection between these 2 points in introverted intuition is that connection point is essentially supposed to be, they are not connected from their own perspective, which allows them to watch their own mind-formed patterns, which they don't really talk about in this Enneagram description. But nonetheless, I am convinced, at least right now, that the best mapping is from using personality hacker definitions is from NI onto Type 9. This concludes my Enneagram MBTI correlations playlist videos. Let me know what you think. Hopefully people have been doing that already or in general. But I think these map on pretty well. I'm not going to upload these in order because I don't have them all figured out yet. So I'll be wearing a different shirt and I might be in a different background. Who knows? Maybe a different living space. Maybe I'll be outside. Who knows where I'll be? But this is the end of the playlist. If you have any questions or comments, let me know about them in the comments. Or reach out some other way. Not that you really can because this is YouTube and that's the only information you have about me. So yeah, but just or if you just want to talk about typology and stuff, just leave a comment. We can set up a chat or something. Thanks for watching.